All eyes on Russia, where Russia continues to build up its military presence along Ukraine's border and in other surrounding regions. The Pentagon warning Russia currently has enough troops and equipment at Ukraine's border to invade the whole country. Joining us now for reaction is New Jersey Congressman Jeff Van Drew. Congressman, welcome.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Thank you. Do you think Russia right now, an invasion to Ukraine is imminent? I know that both the House and the Senate were given a classified briefing on the situation there, and there seem to be lawmakers who emerged from that meeting believing that this threat was imminent.
Certainly the threat is real. Certainly there's a possibility it's imminent. You know, you never know what's in Putin's mind. Except one thing that we do know. He knows that President Joe Biden, and this majority Congress is weak. He knows that no sanctions have been put in place yet. Quite frankly, we should have moved quickly on severe sanctions and should have moved quickly and never allow the Nord Stream 2 pipeline to flow, which makes Europe more dependent upon Russia. Frankly, we should have committed to actions in Afghanistan that made sense and created respect around the world. Other than that, they're actually disrespecting us because we committed to a terrible operation there. And we're committing our troops. What we're saying in legislation, which I obviously don't vote for, is that our troops and that our military should be concentrating on climate change and concentrating on getting vaxxed. We've really got to get down to the real issues. One word, strong.
Republicans have really been pushing for robust action when it comes to Russia in deterring them before, as you mentioned, preemptive sanctions. But after that briefing, were there any Democratic lawmakers who felt that there were a need to strengthen those sanctions? I know that they're working on that draft legislation now.
Yeah, they're Democratic. I mean, there are some. It's hard to see where they're going because, again, they are just so, focused on vax mandates for the military. You hear more about that than you do this. They're so focused on and literally committing money and putting it in legislation that climate change would be a major responsibility and charge of the military. That doesn't create any strength or signal of strength to the Russians. I mean, right now, the Russians think we're a joke. I mean, we would never be in this situation if they respected our force, our power, and that we were doing the right thing. So the best thing that we can do right now, from one congressman's point of view, is to actually, make sure that we have harsh, strong, powerful sanctions, and they're economic in nature, do them early. We should not put boots on the ground.
And Congressman, Senator Marco Rubio said that this is the most significant threat in Europe since 1945. It's just that simple. He called a Russian invasion a near certainty at this point. In terms of implementing something that would be enough of a deterrent for Russian President Vladimir Putin, when you talk about stronger sanctions, what does that look like?
Well, it looks like, for example, oil. Certainly not letting the oil flow. It looks like, goods and services that they depend on, they won't receive, which is going to put a lot of pressure, obviously, on their people. It looks like letting him know that we're real serious about this. But see, we're a day late and a dollar short, and he knows that. He absolutely knows that. This is a smart man. This is a KGB guy. So he knows what he's doing, and I think he's ready to go. And we're in a situation where nobody wants to put boots on the ground. But I tell you, we should give every piece of armament, anything that we can give to help these poor Ukrainians defend themselves in some way. We should. We should get all kinds of arms and all kinds of military wear over there so that they can do what they need to do. It's still going to be hard. I mean, the troop growth is great. And what's interesting? After he met with Biden, he actually had reduced the troop number a little bit. But after he spoke with and evaluated Biden, he even has increased it more. That's not a good sign.
Congressman, turning now to the U.S. raid that killed that ISIS leader, 13 people were killed in that, 6 children, for women. Here's President Biden defending that raid.
Knowing that this terrorist had chosen to surround himself with families, including children, we made a choice to pursue a special forces raid at a much greater risk than to our own people, rather than targeting him with an airstrike.
Given the fact that Abu Ibrahim al-Hashimi al-Qurashi was basically replaced, the previous ISIS leader days after he was killed, when you weigh the pros and cons of a raid like this, and certainly the fact that a lot of this is going to get turned into propaganda for ISIS and recruitment, what do you make of the timing of this and how necessary it was to do this now with these civilian casualties in play?
Well, I don't want to keep beating a dead horse, but the truth is here, again, our military is off focus. We don't have the right people always making the right decisions. Now, I have to tell you, I respect the brave men and women that were there and did their job and did what they were told to do. These are our American heroes, and they did nothing wrong, and they truly don't. They just literally put their lives in harm's way. But whether this was executed properly again, whether the timing was right, whether we could have avoided civilians and others getting hurt, that's never a good thing. I would have liked to have seen a much smoother, cleaner, purposeful operation, similar to what President Trump did when he was in. So again, we're focusing on everything what the military should be focusing on, which is actually going ahead with these actions, doing it the right way, being, strong, focused, and hard-nosed about how to do it without creating needless problems. And we seem with whatever we do right now with this president and his administration to always have problems associated with everything.
Yeah. Congressman Jeff Van Drew, we really appreciate you being with us. Thank you.
My pleasure. It was good to see you again.
Nice to see you.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.